Ugh, God, I feel like garbage. Ugh, I've been eating cookies all day. Ugh.
Wait a second. What? No, I should eat something healthy. Surely I've got something in the pantry. God dang it, all I got is Oreos and Pringles. Oh, wait a second. I could go buy something. I just got paid. What? God. No. I can't afford to eat healthy. It's an excuse many of us make, and I get it. There's a lot of inflation going on. Things are looking down, but I'm here to tell you that you can afford to eat healthy, okay? So I'm going to give a scenario where, say you're making minimum wage in Texas that's $7.50 an hour. You can actually afford to eat healthy on that type of budget, okay? So if you're in Texas making minimum wage, your yearly income after income taxes for the federal government would be $13,927. This would put you as an eligible candidate for SNAP benefits and WIC in order to help pay for groceries and whatnot. But I'm just going to say, assuming you're like too prideful or something and you don't want to reach out for help or benefits, which I do recommend you do, then you can still afford to eat healthy on this budget. So the first step in creating a budget to eat healthy is to figure out how much money you have for food. So if say you have $13,927, you got to break that down into your weekly expenses and then figure out the percentages that go to what your financial responsibilities are, okay? So there's 5 different financial responsibilities we have as an adult to take care of, and we need to split our income into these 5 categories, okay? So you have housing, vehicle maintenance, food and health, personal investments, and emergency funds. For those categories respectively, you're going to put 30%, 10%, 20%, 10%, and 30% into those 5 categories. So that leaves us with 20% for food and health, okay? So in that category, that includes personal hygiene and health products like soap and toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuff like that. So that 20% of that income would give you $53 a week for food and health. And then to take out the money for personal hygiene products, we're going to take out $4 per week. So that gives you $16 per month for that stuff. So it's going to be stretching it pretty thin, but I think you can do it. So that leaves us with $49 for food a week. In this scenario, you're only going to be purchasing food for yourself. Hopefully, if you have dependents, you are going to reach out and go to like food pantries and stuff like that because you are eligible for that. But in this scenario, you're just paying for one person. According to the USDA, thrifty shopping for one person would be about $63 per week. And so $49 is, that's below poverty line, but we're still going to make it happen, okay? So now that we're done with step 1, finding our weekly food budget, the next step is to have a plan when you're going to buy food. So you're going to have 5 categories again of different food groups that you need to make purchases for, okay? So the 5 categories are lean animal protein, plant-based protein, vegetables, fruits, and then the last one is seeds and whole grains, okay? So what you're going to do is because there's 5 categories, you're going to split your weekly food budget into these categories. So that puts 20% of that $49 into each of these 5 categories. So that gives us about a little less than $10 per food group. And so what you're going to do is when you go to the grocery store or say you're buying stuff on your food app or whatever, you want to have multiple purchases in each of these categories. So don't make one big purchase for one of these categories. So say you have lean animal proteins. If you're only working with $10, which isn't a lot, it wouldn't be wise to purchase one steak that's worth $10, okay? You want to make your money stretch. So the way to do that is, regardless of these categories, there are some things you want to avoid in order to be able to afford enough food for the week. So things to avoid are things that are going to spoil quickly. You want to avoid organic because it's going to spoil quicker and it's not going to taste as good, and it's a big marketing scam. And then you're going to want to avoid brand name products. So instead of purchasing things like Coca-Cola or some big companies like Kellogg's or Jif or big brand names, instead you want to purchase like your local store products, okay? So say you're in Texas, you want to buy H-E-B brand if you have that grocery store, or Walmart brand, or Trader Joe's brand, or Kroger's brand, stuff like that. It's going to be cheaper, and the quality of the product is going to be pretty much the same. So if you're having to stretch your money and your budget's tight, this is the way to go, okay? It's just not wise to purchase name brand options, okay? So, and then things you want to look out for. So instead of avoiding, these are the things you want to purchase, or buy in bulk if you can. Buy frozen produce It's going to last longer. It's going to have higher nutrient quality because they freeze it when it's peak ripeness, and you're gonna be able to buy more, and it's easier to buy in bulk for that thing, so it's gonna be cheaper. And then for lean animal proteins, instead of buying like single serving packages, so say you're getting yogurt, instead of getting single cups of yogurt, you want to buy bigger tubs. And if you're buying chicken, buy the whole chicken instead of cuts, because the more processed a food item is, the more expensive it's going to be because of the labor costs that go into making that type of food product. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty simple. And then for seeds and whole grains, any whole grains, it doesn't have to be whole grains. It can be just grains in general. Loaves of bread are pretty cheap. You can get a whole loaf of bread for like $1.19 here in Texas, and that's going to be a lot of calories for you. And then for seeds, I like to get flax seeds and stuff like that because it's going to give you a lot of fiber and fiber content, and it's really high and nutrient dense. So there's another rule. Like I said, you want to be able to purchase multiple food products for each of these categories. So if you only have $10, you don't want to purchase something that costs $10. So one of the rules is if you're buying something, it can't be more than 55% of that food group's budget. Okay, so if you have $10, keep everything below $5.50. Okay, if it's $5.55, that's okay. But if you're purchasing something that's $7, again, not wise. So with all that said, here's an example of a grocery list I have come up with here at HEB. And you can see that there's a lot of products and a lot of produce I was able to buy. And you just want to shop around. And the first thing you want to do is shop around the perimeter of the store and avoid things that are in the center of the grocery store, okay? Because the things in the center are going to be really processed, packaged, and they're going to be highly palatable foods that don't have a lot of nutrient quality. So you're going to find things like Oreos, snacks, chips, and candy and sodas and stuff in the center of the market. But on the perimeter, you're going to find produce and animal dairy products and the stuff you actually want to consume. Okay, so if you're buying all this stuff, you're going to notice that if you have all these categories filled out in your grocery cart, you're going to be thinking, God dang, this looks like a lot of food. How did I do this? It's like you're cheating the system. And, when you get home, you're going to have enough food products here, especially with this grocery list in this example I'm giving you. There's going to be enough variety for you to be able to mix and match ingredients and combine things in the kitchen that allow for good quality meals for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. And it's going to stretch you throughout the whole week. This grocery list, as an example, actually has over 700 grams of protein. So it gives you over 100 grams of protein per day. So me, as an example, someone who's trying to build a lot of muscle and look pretty lean and jacked, I could live off of this grocery list and still be able to put on muscle and lose fat and have enough energy to get a lot of workouts in and be able to be high functioning and go throughout my day with a lot of energy and vibrance. And, you're going to be able to do that if you eat from all these 5 categories and food groups. Okay, so that was 2 steps, pretty simple. All you got to do is figure out your food budget and then create a grocery list that fills out all 5 of these food group categories. Okay, so that's it. Hope it helps. If you want to see me make quick and simple meals from things that are in this grocery list, then like and comment below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.